All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well today. We actually have some economic data today, which is good. It's been kind of slow. Um, what's up, CT, Ray, Discipline, Joker, Trailer, Arif, Faye, Sam, Ava, Pawn, Whale. What's up, guys? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good. All right, guys. No, he's had that name for a minute, I think, right? Wait. All right, guys. So today we have jobless claims, unemployment. Let's take a look at the biggest stories today. Yeah, we're taking over. What's up, M? Yeah, I'm looking at the tariff news as well. I mean, we can kind of look at Apple back up a little bit, Nvidia over $100, which is a great sign. Here's the Nasdaq all the way up to almost 19,000. I think we got to watch 19K. We did dip. It's been a very big range morning though. Like, look at the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq has had a huge range. We went up to almost over 19,000 yesterday for a little while. Now we're still down from where we were, but we're doing a little bit better. Stock futures pointing lower this morning. Dow futures down about 200 points. S&P down about 0.5%. NASDAQ down about 0.7%. Seems linked to mixed signals on trade talks. Those mixed signals have to do with the president suggesting overnight that the high 145% tariffs on Chinese goods could go down substantially. Treasury Secretary Bessent mentioned an opportunity for a big deal, although China has pushed back some. The officials over there said this morning they explicitly denied that formal tariff negotiations with the U.S. are currently underway, dampening optimism. This pushback from China appears to be weighing on market sentiment today. Bessent also reportedly expects India might be the first country to sign a bilateral trade deal to avoid the reciprocal tariffs. Concerns remain about the potential impact of tariffs on specific sectors, including pharma, healthcare, all that stuff. President said late Tuesday, so a couple days ago, he had no intention of firing Jerome Powell as well, which is good news for the Federal Reserve Chairman. This helped ease concerns. We had some earnings that came out today. We had like Procter & Gamble, Merck, Pepsi, Boeing climbed higher after reporting smaller than expected losses and higher deliveries. We had Philip Morris yesterday, AT&T, Intel, Pepsi. Today we got jobless claims, durable good orders. So we actually have some stuff coming out finally. Yeah, so we had Comcast come out this morning, Procter & Gamble, Mobile. American Airlines came out with stuff. American Airlines posted... They expected a 69-cent loss. They ended up posting a 59-cent loss. American Airlines posted 59-cent loss versus 69-cent loss expected. Revenue of $12.55 billion. They expected $12.52 billion, so slightly better revenue, better than expected EPS for AAL, American Airlines. Comcast posted 89 cents versus 99 cents, revenue of 29.89 versus 29.78 expected, so slightly higher revenue, but it missed EPS, so better revenue, but missed margin data for Comcast. How you guys doing this morning? You guys doing good? American Airlines numbers here, if we take a look at it, I mean, I don't know if I would call them bad. You know, they're down at 918. So they're kind of underwhelming. I think American Airlines beat EPS and revenue. And so they're not like a horrible reaction here, to be honest. Like, they could be worse, you know. All right, let me draw this. Yeah, so we're covering some other news this morning, too. We got jobless claims, unemployment filings. I'm going to put the timer up. Yeah, I'm gonna put a timer up here. Hold on, let me find my timer. There it is. Alright, we got. So we got about an hour and 15 minutes still. 12 minutes, give or take. There we go. Let me know if you like the yellow bar at the top of the screen too. So I figured I'm gonna put some news here so we can cover like some news on the stream too. So it's not like, yeah. American Airlines have had aging airplane issues. These planes become crazy expensive to maintain as they age. Yeah, I mean, especially if they have Boeing stuff. Like, Boeing has had a lot of bad news over the past couple, you know. Boeing's had some bad news over the past year or two. Boeing has been really hit with some negative sentiments. IBM is plummeting. The government took 18 contracts from them and started dumping. Yeah, man, I was never a big investor in IBM just because I don't know what they do anymore. Like, I know they used to create computers, but at this point in time, I don't know what they do anymore, so I just don't invest in them. What's up, Ricky? How you doing, brother? What's up, R? Hey, everyone, this has become my place to go before heading out to work. Hey, thanks so much, man. Yeah, I mean, China seems like they're going to be a little bit harder on us than they want us to, than they want, you know. Yeah, are they really? Are they owned by Apple? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so the German government sees inflation easing to 2% this year, 1.9% in 2026. Yeah, AAL, 69-cent loss per share. Expected 59 cents showed. So Metaplanet now holds 5,000 Bitcoin. So Musk has a Neuralink Eyes fundraiser, and he got 8.5 billion valuation for that. So we're looking at a couple different things this morning. We had Procter and Gamble post earnings. Jim Cramer said this morning, initial reaction to weak quarters is strong, as if everyone is expecting them. Pepsi, Merck, best example. Honestly, he's not wrong here, right? Like, we've seen a lot of positive reactions to weak earnings. Tesla's probably the easiest one, but we also see like Pepsi, Merck, which are having good reactions to a certain extent. At the same time, though, Pepsi is now down big this morning. It's so. I'm not gonna say it's because Jim Cramer said it was strong, but it might be. So China just put 3 astronauts into space, apparently. It's their 5th crewed mission and part of a space program that's been running for decades. The crew blasted off on the Shenzhou 20 spaceship, which is kind of like their Uber. They have their own space station called the Tiangong, which they've been building and living in. So, interesting. Yeah, I don't know what the market's going to do, guys. Of course, nobody freaking knows. Yeah, but I think you got to look at it like this, right? Both countries need each other in this China-US like tariff battle. Both countries need each other. The US is the buyers of Chinese goods. And so China needs the US to buy their goods because we are a huge buyer. And if we don't buy their goods, they're missing out on huge revenue. Of course, this is very obvious. Like, if the US doesn't buy their stuff, they're missing out on a lot. And then obviously we need them in terms of manufacturing and production. You know, a lot of stuff here is made there. And so both sides, honestly, like, they can both try to play hard, you know, and try to play hard to get and try to play kind of like stiffing the other one or whatever. But they both need each other to a certain extent. And because of that, I think a deal is going to get done eventually. I think eventually we're going to see an end to this battle. I don't know when that's going to be. I don't know how that's going to look. I think the market's going to go up if we do. But I think eventually this is going to end and markets are going to go back to business as usual. Who knows how much the market's going to dip leading into that, though, you know. Yeah, we had MRK symbol come out with adjusted EPS of 222 versus 213, expected sales of 15.53 versus 15.33 expected. So they did better than expected mostly. Do you think the dollar will weaken? I think it already has, and it's still kind of coming down some, but we did bounce back some as well. I mean, it's normal when tariff stuff, inflation fears, all that stuff's going on. Economic weakness fears, like, it's normal for the dollar to come down a little bit. Do you think the dollar will weaken overall? Probably. Yeah, so I'm looking at other news here. We're going to make a post. China's central bank governor met with Bank of Japan governor on Wednesday, according to PBOC, citing Reuters. So a couple things that happened, just that we're getting reports on overnight. Number one is that China central bank governor met with the Bank of Japan governor yesterday, according to PBOC, citing Reuters, or Reuters citing PBOC, I should say. And then we have another report here showing that Japan is going to resist U.S. president's effort to form a trade bloc against China because of the importance of Tokyo's trade ties with Beijing, according to Bloomberg, citing current and former government officials. And so Japan is not going to work with us in terms of sticking it to China. Like that's what I'm seeing right here. They're not going to work with this. They've already met with China, and even though like Japan, a pretty democratically friendly nation, they're still not going to work with us, is what they're basically saying. In that regard, they might work with us, but they're not going to, you know. And again, we're looking at also we have a government person from Germany saying he sees stagnation in 2025, cutting forecasts from 0.3% growth previously. Sees 1% economic growth in 2026 and still sees inflation easing to 2% in 2025 and 1.9% in 2026. So, spy to 550 gap or break from resistance trend down. Thank you, yo. I appreciate the donation, brother. Spot a 550 gap or break from resistance trend down. I really don't know, man. I think 550 is a big resistance level, of course, and I think 550 is just a big spot on the SPY that a lot of people are watching. I think it's kind of a similar area with like, here's the NASDAQ 100 here. If I put a 4-hour chart up, it's the same area right here. You can kind of see I have like a yellow line drawn right down the center. It says 19,000. It's a little bit higher than that. It's like 19,150, 19,2 on the NASDAQ. I think that's a big level, and I think that's a level that a lot of people are watching. It's basically this low right here. It's like 19,120, 19,130. That's a big level, and I think a lot of people are watching it. Bitcoin, on the other hand, in terms of good news, has been rising up. It's at 92.4s, but it did dip down overnight like most other securities. Japan playing the long game. Japan will support us. You need to understand. Yeah. I'm just ready for this slow week to be over. Again, like for my channel, every quarter we get 1 or 2 slow weeks where we just don't have anything going on. The last 2 weeks have basically been that for my channel. Like it's been very boring, very slow. Haven't had a lot going on. And so, and it's mostly because of the lack of economic data. But that all starts next week. We got a whole gang of stuff. And the markets are mostly going down because what I'm seeing this morning is like less tariff optimism. Market's down 20% is boring. No. Having no economic data coming out for 2 weeks is boring for me. It's more boring than I normally see, right? Like, it's definitely more boring than I normally face. Like, usually my channel is economic reports. Like, no matter what's going on, I typically every week get thousands and thousands of people show up for me to cover the economic reports that we get throughout the week, right? For whatever reason, last week we had almost nothing. This week we had almost nothing in terms of economic reports. Today we got jobless claims unemployment, and so that's actually kind of a big thing I'm excited for. But next week and the week after are pretty big. So like next week we get like the JOLTS report on Tuesday, CB consumer confidence on Tuesday, Case-Shiller house price index on Tuesday, all the big earnings reports. Wednesday we have the biggest day of probably the whole month in terms of economic reports. We've got mortgage data, European GDP. We've got ADP non-farm employment change. We got U.S. GDP quarter over quarter expected at 2.4% is what it's looking like, 2.4% next week. Is it really expected at 2.4% for quarter one? Or is that just last time? Oh, that's just the previous number. I'm really curious to see what they update quarter one GDP as next week. We got Chicago PMI. We got PCE inflation data. And then Thursday we got a whole gang of stuff. Friday we got a whole gang of stuff too. So all right, so the China customs officials said China will optimize inspection and monitoring methods for lithium battery exports. And we also have a bunch of big earnings next week too. So next week is incredibly busy. Yeah, today we got jobless claims, unemployment. We actually have some stuff showing up today, so I'm excited about it. We actually have stuff coming out. Finally. We got an hour before jobless claims, unemployment finally. We got almost 500 here already, which is nice. What I learned is, like, I'm the early channel that everybody tunes into. Which I'll take. I'll take it. Oh, wait. I haven't done a poll yet. That's true. We'll just do jobless claims. Do we get higher or lower jobless claims today? Do we get... Do we get higher or lower? Or let me think how to phrase this. Does jobless claims come in higher or lower than what were they expected at today? They were expected at 220,000 today. 220K is what they're expected at. Alright, there you go. All right, so we're going to do our x.com post as we always do here, kind of breaking everything down. We're also going to take a picture of the earnings that came out. So yeah, if you want a breakdown of all the earnings that came out today, there we go. Yeah, so the dollar index is down again overnight, finally breaking back down under $100. Gold eased slightly, but remains supported by a lot of trade uncertainty still. So. Yeah, I mean, you get some weird people here, bro. Like, we got, like, stalkers, you know. And just strange people that, like... But most people here are chill and just good people, I would say. You know, they understand what I'm doing. That I'm just kind of giving people stuff away for free, and I'm not really selling a course or anything like that. I'm just kind of telling people the truth, at least what I consider the truth. Honestly, the nasdaq has rebounded a lot here, though. It's not quite over 19K, and I'm still watching 19,000. 19,000 is a big level. Yeah, like 19K is a big level. And, like, honestly, we're kind of pulling back a little bit here, too. So I just took a little baby trade here, buying the dip on this account. It's very small, and we will cut it pretty soon if we get some, like, big red action. I want to see if we can play off of this 200 exponential level right here. Make sure you guys can see it. Whoa. Okay, we're out. We just got really lucky. Something just allowed us to make $115 really fast. Really fast. I don't know what happened, but hey, I will take that. Green is good, ladies and gentlemen. This has to be news related of some sorts. Let's see. Some type of news release just happened, but we retraced all the way back down. I'm searching for news right now, chat. Let's see. I still don't know what this was, to be honest. It wasn't the 8 a.m. scrum. It was some type of big sell and buy order coming through. Look, and it happened on Tesla. It happened on the NASDAQ. It happened on literally everything. I don't know what that was. I mean, I was able to profit from it. That was a huge move, short term in a 1 minute candle. I'm still looking for news, guys, so bear with me. So Eurogroup's President Donahue says the EU wants to look at how balance lies with China. The U.S. is considering exceptions for some Chinese auto parts, according to ABC. That might be what this is. Again, the U.S. considering potentially some... Yeah, so that probably is what it was. Like, the U.S. is considering exceptions for some Chinese auto parts, according to ABC. But that's all I see right now. I don't know if that's what caused that big spike. Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, I made money somehow on it, but... Truth Social. Let's see. All right, so the president posted about 7 minutes ago, but I don't know if this is what it was. He said gas and grocery prices are way down, just like I said they would be. Eggs are plentiful and down 87%. Nice. I don't know if that's what's causing this move, though. I really don't. Like, this move was reflected in almost everything. Like, look, we could see this move in AMD. You can see it in Apple. You can see it in a lot of different stuff. Bitcoin, honestly. So I think it's probably the tariff news regarding auto parts overseas. But it's just a weird reaction here. Here's the 200 exponential, and we did bounce like right at the level I bought it at. But still, man, just a crazy move. Yeah, it's the nature of the market, though. Like, markets can fly up, they can fly down. Like, you don't ever really know what they're going to do. Yeah. Kind of a crazy move, to be honest. Big thank you to John for your channel. It makes my mornings every day. Thank you, John. Hey, thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it. Gonna be huge. Hey, the move is I'm not really a big political guy either, but hey, I hope you guys make some money. Still holding over that 200 exponential. Watch 725. That's a level I'm watching close. Like, look at 725. This level right here. I'm watching that very closely. We still got 45 minutes or so until jobless claims unemployment. We got over 600 people here. And again, I still don't see anything that would make anything move here. I see UK Chancellor Reeve saying he understands U.S. concerns on trade imbalances, especially in China. They don't always agree with U.S. on policy prescriptions, but is confident a trade deal can be done. So this is some of the news that just showed up. You can kind of see it right there. And again, we also had the news about the current administration reportedly weighing exceptions for some auto parts overseas. Look at Tesla heating up. Apple back over 203s. Where bond yields at this morning? Yeah, honestly, I think the news was the auto part exemption. Could be earnings too. Union Pacific dropped numbers. Bond yields. Bond yields are down a little bit today, which is good. Like lower interest rate sentiment. Over 5 days, bond yields are down a little bit. So down to 4.34%, under 4.4%, which is what they were at a few days ago. And if you want to see what's going on this morning in markets here, give me a follow on x.com. Here's our x.com page. It's at Beginner Trades. If you want to give me a follow, a great way to help support the channel. There's the link right there. We try to cover all the breaking news in markets and make at least a post about them. But again, the big news that I see this morning, there's a couple big ones. Number one, we have a lot of earnings come out. Number two, I see a couple things specifically coming from overseas in China. China saying that they will The governor met with the Bank of Japan governor on Wednesday, yesterday, according to PBOC, cited by Reuters. And then with that, Japan, they say, is going to resist U.S. president's efforts to form a trade bloc against China because of the importance of their trade ties with Beijing, according to Bloomberg, citing sources as well. So that is some news that maybe Japan's not going to work with us as much in terms of trade bloc that they were wanting to do. And obviously that's not good. The other news that is probably causing some optimism is the current administration is reportedly weighing exceptions or exemptions for some Chinese auto parts, according to sources. So if we get exemptions there for auto parts, that's going to make the tariffs a little bit less significant, which is good. It's probably what caused this little pop here, although it's still unknown. We don't know why that pop happened. So we'll have to wait and figure it out. Yeah, for sure, Meath. So we did see that one already, brother. No news Wednesday. We had news yesterday. Yeah, we had some news yesterday. Hey, thank you, Mahmood. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, sir. We had Union Pacific drop some numbers here. Appreciate the follows, guys. Got a couple follows. That's good. I'm trying to build up my X.com page. It's been a page I've kind of neglected, and so it's been growing pretty quickly here, which is good. I'm excited for it. Like, look, I'll show you guys. I gotta find that profile. Yeah, like in 2 weeks, we've grown by like hundreds of followers, so that's good. We're gonna keep growing there. And we post like earnings. We got some earnings coming out. Yes, we had big releases by this morning. American Airlines, Nokia, Pepsi, FCX, Merck, Dow, Union Pacific, Procter & Gamble, Valero, Hasbro, NASDAQ, Comcast. Boo, Comcast. Everybody hates Comcast. You should at least. PCG, bro. It's been a while since I've even looked at PCG, dude. Aren't they the ones that started the fire? So many earnings today. I might be wrong there. All right, so market had this big bounce back, pulled all the way back and retraced it, and now it's slowly kind of creeping back up here. So ECB's Lane says trade policy uncertainty has been on the radar since the summer. All right, so look, we're starting to creep back up. Let's watch this 360. It's like 365 or so. Look at us reject here at this level, this 365 level, and come back down some. So doesn't matter who makes the chip. Supermicro sells them the hardware for all the chip manufacturers. Footprint chart now showing a sweep. Yeah, I mean, but a lot of big stuff moved. Amazon or Apple options, which one do you prefer? I like Amazon. I'm more confident in Amazon. I like both of them, just to put it into perspective. I'm not an investment professional, though. I'm not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment. Trade responsibly. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about, and I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Don't copy me. Not an investment professional. Understand CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. Don't sue me, is what I'm saying. You're not going to win. It's not going to work. With that said, though, I like Amazon a little bit more because I think I like Amazon's business model a little bit more. What do I mean by that? I think most people in the United States and beyond use Amazon. Now, there's other countries that don't, of course, but most people in the U.S. use Amazon, and the convenience that Amazon and their shipping system gives us is profound, right? Almost everybody in the United States, almost every family uses Amazon regularly, and we are wildly dependent on it at this point in time. And so just in terms of general stock success, I like Amazon. I think Amazon is probably one of those stocks that is a very, very safe bet right now. But maybe you could also argue that the growth for Amazon is over. I don't know. I think regardless of whether it's still growing, it's going to be a powerhouse of a stock for decades or longer, as long as it stays on top. So, but that's just me. What's up, Beach Bum? How you doing, man? Yeah, y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, help support the channel here. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much, guys. We finally got some economic reports today. Cheers to you guys. I'm excited about it, man. It's been boring, dude. The last 2 weeks have had nothing. Been straight up nothing for the last 2 weeks here. Yeah, I mean, Amazon is just have so many people relying on them that it's a pretty safe bet, I think, too. Don't they pay it? Let me see. Do they pay a divvy? No, they don't pay divvies. Okay, whatever. But Amazon, pullback too. Like, I like it. The only thing that's iffy about Amazon right now, if we're being honest, but it's the same complaint can be made for Apple. The iffiest thing about Amazon is that people who sell things on Amazon, a lot of them get them from China. They buy it on, like, if you go to websites like AliExpress or Alibaba.com, you buy wholesale things from Chinese suppliers and manufacturers. And that's what most of the products on Amazon are from, is overseas. And so the tariffs can wildly affect Amazon in a negative way as well. I don't think it's going to matter. I think even if things are more expensive, people are still going to buy it from Amazon versus going to Walmart or something like that. And I think any retailer is going to be hit with the same thing, basically. Like, any retailer is going to be hit by this. And so, all right, so ECB's Lane said the U.S. is an important trading partner, but not the only partner. We can't get ahead of ourselves on any path for the economy. ECB's Lane also said the economy should be growing despite trade negatives. Yeah, so we ended up hitting, like, here's 65s. Still there. Might be able to ride this up a little bit, make it right here. It's probably a little bit cleaner. I mean, and this looks pretty strong, right? I think to your point, it's more of a convenience. Yeah, but I think it's a huge convenience that people are very used to at this point in time. So I don't think they're going to pivot away from that. You know. How red do you think we'll get today? I don't know. I think a lot of it depends on, a lot of different stuff, to be honest. I think jobless claims, unemployment filings in about 30 minutes are big and key. I think there's just a lot of stuff that you want to pay attention to right now. And, we'll have to wait and see. Who knows, man? Market pessimism. People are super bearish. Bearish sentiment tops 50% for the 9th straight week, they say. When you look at the American Association of Individual Investors sentiment survey, we're breaking, bearish records for another week. Although there's a lot of people that think that we might get a relief rally from the current levels. Even though we dipped overnight, we are back up some. We have been holding. It's not like we had this big bear action and then we had a little rebound. And the good news is that we haven't dumped down like this again, which is good, of course. Right, like we haven't crashed in any big significant way back down to lows, which is good, right? If we can hold, that's good, and then slowly creep our way back up, that's good. That's what I think the move is. And again, we'll have to wait and see. Amazon at 180s. I don't know. I might start buying up. I don't know, man. Yeah, a lot of stuff overseas is exactly from that, 100%. So, yeah.
I've made.
Sorry, I'm looking at some other people here in the space, but see, but I would never make my stream members only, bro. Like, I would never make my, like my only stream members only. That's too much. It's useless. All right, so look at the market start to rebound back up here. Again, Tesla over 250s. Like, Tesla's starting to creep back up some. So Vanda says the market dive was nasty, but it wasn't a full-blown capitulation. They said we saw stocks plunge in early April to the lowest levels. Still didn't register as capitulation by retail investors. The capitulation index from the firm, which it says captures not just net purchases, but also purchasers' breadth sentiment, leverage, hedging flows, household balance, and sheet health, suggests that we're still about 3/4 of the way to a full-blown capitulation. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, look at the market start to run back up here. Let me see if we got any news. So Mexican inflation came out. Deutsche Bank lowers its 2025 year-end forecast from 7,000 to 6,150. They must be talking about the S&P, right? They've got to be talking about the S&P. in terms of price by Deutsche. But that still means they think we're gonna have a green year if they are talking about the S&P. Thermo Fisher invests in enhance U.S. innovation and support customers' manufacturing. Procter & Gamble CFO says tariffs obviously put pressure on our cost structure. Premature to speculate what levels of pricing we will see. Yeah, a lot of people are bearish. What's up, Fred? Yeah, we had a whole bunch of earnings today. Yeah, Seahawks. So that came out like 30 minutes ago. And I think that's what caused this little spike right here that ended up retracing immediately back down. I'm trying to take a look at like Nvidia as well. Like we got to look at like Nvidia, Apple, stuff like that. But like there's Tesla, Apple. Both of them reacted to this report. Let's take a look at Nvidia. Look at the market surge up though. Market's heading up here. Yeah, look at Nvidia. So Nvidia and everything reacted to it. So look, here's Nvidia. We still got 30 minutes basically until this report goes live. But still, look at this bull action showing up in markets right now. I was looking at O'Reilly chain yesterday. Pre-earnings premiums were insane. You mean O'Reilly Auto Parts? 25% away from capitulation. Yeah, maybe. 6 years. All right, AMD now technically green on the day, though. Amazon back up to almost 182s. Nvidia falling back a little bit higher. Let's see what the previous close is for Nvidia. Okay, so Nvidia is now technically green on the day as well, leading into this jobless claims unemployment filings report. So Nvidia technically green. Tesla fighting its way back up too. I think Tesla's got to be green, right? No, Tesla's just under the red to green. If you look at this light blue line, that's the red to green spot. All right, Nvidia at 102.70s. Pull it back here. Look at the previous closing price for Nvidia. It's literally right here. Sometimes I buy these dips. You know what? I'll try to buy this dip here. We got a cushion on the day. We might as well. We'll take a couple contracts here. See if we get a bounce for Nvidia. Yeah, and so just to... Sorry, I'm trying to watch this position. Alright, so we got a little pop. We're just taking one little micro here. We might add a little bit more. I'm wondering if Nvidia is going to bounce right here at the previous closing price. And so I kind of want to add to this on the downside here. And again, just to put this into... capitulation is like the big final like washout. It's the peak fear in downward movements in markets, right? It's when people who may have been holding on to some positions decide to start selling. It's when a lot of contrarians start to buy. It's basically peak fear in market crashes and corrections is what capitulation is. Just for everybody at home that might not understand the jargon that we're using when we say capitulation. All right, so we're flat. We got a little pop up here. We had a $115 trade earlier this morning. We called this pop. Got out almost exactly at the top too. All right, there we go. Again, Nvidia did start to bounce up here. Nice. We're going to take half off there just to lock some of it in. Maybe add back some more. add this back here. We got 2 contracts now. We got a little cushion already, so we can. Maybe hold the rest break even if we want. Don't hold my entry as resistance. I hate it when that happens, when my entry level becomes resistance if I'm long. Never fun. Yeah, I mean, I gotta watch this. I'm watching Nvidia closely here. There we go. Oh, come on, hold. There we go. It's so early, and I don't tend to do good late in pre-market. Or early in pre-market, so I'm trying to be very risk averse here, but I need something up there. We got 2 contracts, but this is not. There it goes. Nvidia looks like it wants to come up too, but it's getting close to. Oh, I got out of both positions? Oh, I did not mean to do that. I wanted to hold on to a little bit. Oh well. We're about 125 on the day, so that's good. Maybe a little bit more than that. Yeah, about 125, yeah. All right, so the IMF's managing director, Georgieva, says China needs to reduce imbalances and shift to consumption. And again, China came out this morning that said that they had not had any trade negotiations with the U.S., contradicting the president's claims. And I'm going to go ahead and quote them real quick here if I can, so bear with me. So I'm going to read this report that's been coming out. They said, we've been hearing the U.S. say that China and the U.S. are having talks and even about to reach a deal. Can you confirm whether the 2 sides are in talks? None of that is true. As I have learned, China and the U.S. are not having any consultation or negotiation on tariffs, still less reaching a deal. The tariff war is launched by the U.S. China's position is consistent and clear. We will fight. If we fight, we must open our doors to dialogue, and negotiation must be based on equality, respect, and mutual benefit. And so that is something that the Chinese state just said. I don't know when this came out, but yeah. All right, Nvidia's still creeping up, though. ECB's Lane also said there's no reason to say that 25 basis point ECB move is always the default. Freeport McMoran proposed tariffs announced to date could increase cost of goods companies' purchases in the U.S. by about 5%. Nvidia's still rising up to 103. This might drag the market back up some here. Yeah, so much uncertainty, fear, and everything for sure. Again, at 8:30, we got jobless claims, unemployment. I tend to think we're going to stagnate leading into this report. We still got 20 minutes until this report, but I tend to think we're going to stagnate a little bit until we got about 800 viewers. Let me pull Discord up on them. I'm kind of looking at it. And again, the good news, one of the good news that I see is 10-year yields are down a little bit today. They haven't quite opened up yet. They might open up soon, but American Airlines also pulled its 2025 outlook. The economic outlook is too uncertain, they say. Michael Saylor making a post. Again, Bitcoin's still over 90K. I think that's an optimistic look at Bitcoin. And look at the NASDAQ and markets start to bounce back up here. So we're starting to rise back up. We'll see if we continue. Yeah. All right. Look at this pop. NASDAQ up to 18.8. I think the big level's 19 up here. Guys, we got like 19. We got the high of the day up here at 18.840s. We got this little high up here, this candle that we can watch as well. Taking a look at Apple here as well. Gold, Apple still red. Gold still all around all-time highs. The dollar, very down today. Dollar down under 100 bucks. It's at 99.3s right now, 99.3s. Nvidia up to 103s. AMD and other microchip stocks going up though. Yeah, we still got 15 plus minutes until this report comes out, so. I hope we're not doing all this to just rename. Yeah, I think, honestly, personally, I think renaming the Gulf was stupid. I think that was dumb. I think that's completely unnecessary, and it's just kind of antagonistic, to be honest. You know, and I think, like, I'm not really a super political person. I'm really not. Like, I'm not, but I'm also not one that just kind of blindly agrees with something somebody does. And I think a lot of people root for politics in the same way. I think we should have just left the Gulf alone, and just, you know, not worry about it. Market's still surging up though. Nvidia surging up a little bit. Dollar index even increasing here. Apple trying to go green on the day. Tariffs are stupid. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm torn on the tariffs. I think rebuilding U.S. manufacturing is good, necessary, makes us less dependent. I don't know if now was the time for it. I think we've already had a lot of stuff happen over the last 5 years that kind of made a lot of people struggle, right? Specifically, inflation has gotten really bad over the last 5 years because of, you know, 2020 economic stimulus checks that were sent out. Like, we had stimulus checks, we had economic stimulus, we had low interest rate environment, we had supply chain problems, and all of this stuff caused big inflation over the past 5 years. I don't know if I get the point of tariffs, but I just don't know if right now is the right time to do them. You know, like, I understand the benefits of them, but I don't think if right now was the time to do it. Yeah, and maybe so, Freddie. I don't know. All right, guys. So NASDAQ is not stopping here. It's up. NASDAQ up to 18.8s here. 18.8s. We still got like 13 minutes left until this report drops. I'm just glad we got something going on. And then tomorrow we have the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report. So if you're not going to do it now, then when? There will never be a perfect time. Well, I mean, of course, there's never a perfect time. But there's a time in which the market has healed some from inflation problems, and tariffs are going to make inflation worse, not better. And so I think I don't think the time to do a big trade battle is after a huge inflationary economy over the past 3 or 4 years, right? Where prices have gone up 3-4x what they once were. And then right when we're getting back to normal, boom, trade battle, right? Making prices worse. I don't think that's the time. I think you got to wait, let things heal a little bit more. Wait 5-10 years to do it. I just don't. And I get it. He wants to get stuff done. I'm not critical of politicians. I'm very neutral in politicians. Like, I wasn't critical of the previous president. I'm not going to be hyper critical of this current president. I just think there's a time and place, and it wasn't the time and place. I think inflation's high. We're already dealing with high inflation. A lot of people are unhappy because of that. Tariffs are not going to make that better. They're going to make it worse. And I think that is something that, I'm nervous about personally, right? Regardless of what happens, maybe it turns out working out for us. I'm still nervous about those because I don't want inflation to get worse. And I know how much inflation has gotten worse in 5 years. Hey, John, can you explain quickly the bond and yields, please? So I look at the 10-year treasury yield. Look at the market pop up. So we popped up over this level here. So I look at bond yields like this. Like, look, here's the 10-year treasury yield. Number one, you move this a percentage point over, and you get the 10-year. And you get the 10-year yield. So currently, 10-year yield before it closed yesterday was at 4.38%, 4.39%. Now, because of supply and demand, bond yields and like mortgages and other interest rates follow each other. The reason for that is because bond prices and bond yields inverse each other. And so if yields are down over the last 24, 48 hours, bond prices, like you could look at TLT, are probably up, right? It's not always a perfect correlation, but yeah, you can kind of see over the last 48 hours, bond prices are green. If you look at bond yields in the last 48 hours, they're down, right? And again, bond yields and interest rate sentiment parallel each other. So if bond yields are down, that means we have a lower interest rate sentiment, a lower mortgage rate sentiment. If bond yields are up, that means we have a higher interest rate sentiment, a higher mortgage rate sentiment, and that's how you track it, right? This is what a lot of people look at. And again, bond prices and bond yields inverse each other. Supply and demand, basically. All right, guys, the market is flying up right now, flying up. Not really stopping here ahead of this report. I see the ECB members speaking. He said, we are fairly certain that the inflation effect of tariffs will be stronger in the U.S. than in Europe. All right, guys, we got 10 minutes. Yeah, if CPI comes in low, I think it's going to be increase the likelihood of a Federal Reserve cut. At this point in time, though, like the odds of a cut next month are drastically down. Drastically down. Like, look at this. At this point in time, the odds of a cut, less than 5% odds of a rate cut. Whoa, look at me. 5% or less odds of a rate cut next month. All right, guys, we got 9 minutes left. 9 minutes. Again, we got jobless claims unemployment filings going live pretty soon. No cuts this year. I think we're going to cut this year. I think right now it's looking like June. Like if we pull this up, June is looking more and more like we're going to cut. When you look up the green screen, makes your forehead disappear. Does it? This is me looking up. Oh yeah, okay. It's just the color. Oh, I can fix that. Here, let me. There we go. All right, there we go. But yeah, so it's looking at like a 60% chance that we're going to cut rates 25 basis points by June. is what it's looking like by June. Hey, 7 minutes left, chat. 7 minutes. What is better, a higher or lower jobless claim? So jobless claims are how many people are filing for unemployment week to week. So jobless claims unemployment filings are how many people are filing for unemployment week to week. It's expected today at 220,000, 220K. I'll put this up on screen. I probably should, right? All right. All right, guys. We're getting a little dip around the highs of the day ahead of jobless claims numbers. We'll see if this bumps us over or under here. We got 6 minutes left. Do you think they will cut rates by 1%? Maybe. I mean, not by June, they're not. Right now it's looking like 25 basis points, which is 1/4% by June. It looks like December they're thinking that rates are going to decrease. Yeah, I mean, they think by December it's looking like either a full percentage point cut by the end of the year or 3/4 percentage point, 75 basis points, right? Like that's what they're thinking right now. All right, guys, so I'm going to put up gold. Whoa. No, I don't have Bloomberg Terminal. I should. I could probably write it off, but no, I don't. Pepsi CFO says relative to where we were 3 months ago, we probably are not feeling as good about the consumer, end quote. All right, guys, jobless claims, unemployment filings, live in about 5 minutes. Let's see what we get. We got some other stuff today, too, I think. Tomorrow we got Michigan consumer sentiment. Today we got durable goods. We got jobless claims. We got Lane speaking. We got existing home sales going live at 10. We got the Kansas City Fed Composite Manufacturing Index. We got the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. We actually got a lot of stuff dropping in 5 minutes. 4 minutes, really. All right, so the president posted... Oh, he's talking about overseas conflicts. Yeah, it's like 20,000 a year. All right, guys. Hey, we got 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes left. Yeah, 3.5 minutes left. All right, here we go. 3 minutes. Again, we're expected that initial claims are the most important, which are kind of like new claims. I'm showing 220K. Some people are showing 222. I hear it in the chat. Again, durable goods expected at 2.1% month over month. That's not really a small release either. Durable goods, 2.1%. Durable goods are basically the total value of orders for like longer lasting manufacturing goods, like goods that don't expire. including transportation. A reading that is stronger is generally like strong for the economy, strong for the U.S. dollar. Weaker than forecast is usually worse for the U.S. dollar, worse for the economy, for durable goods. And again, they're expected at 2.1% today, 2.1%. We got about 2 minutes left. There's the timer. Again, about 2 minutes. This jobs report is going to be a joke because it doesn't have the thousands of federal employees. Well, yeah, that's the non-farm payroll report. Next Friday is going to have the Fed government payrolls that come out. So, I mean, this is one, but this is a more up-to-date one. So just to put it into perspective, right? Like, this is a week-to-week, up-to-date filing report for unemployment versus next week's non-farm payrolls, which are lagging a little bit more. So there's some validity in the jobless claims report week to week. All right, so the Pepsi CFO says consumers looking a little bit worse. We got a minute and 15 seconds, really, about a minute and 10 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream chat. We appreciate it. All right, guys, 50 seconds. 50 seconds. I don't know what kind of report we're going to get today in terms of, like, strength or weakness. I don't know how much this is going to influence markets here. The big reports really come next week. Next week is when all the big boy reports show up, so. All right, jobless claims, 222 expected. Here we go. We got 30 seconds left. 30 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Yeah, sometimes the first move's the wrong move. 10 seconds, guys, 10 seconds. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here's the report. All right, durable goods showed up at 9.2%, way stronger than expected at 9.2%. Jobless claims showed up at 222, which was roughly as expected. I showed 220. Some places had it at 222. So jobless claims 222, roughly as expected. Durable goods showed up at 9.2%. We also had lower than expected continuing claims. So a little bit stronger economic report here for markets. But again, durable goods showed up at 9.2%. Versus 2.1% expected, way larger than expected durable good orders. So maybe that shows a stronger economy. Jobless claims showed 222 versus roughly 220 expected here. 222 versus roughly 220 expected. Durable goods. Yeah, durable goods order month over month showed 9.2% versus what was it? What was the expected number? 2% expected roughly. Yeah. And again, look at the market go up. So the market is actually positively reacting to this report here. Look at this move. It's up to 18.82s. Continuing claims 1.841 million, 1.875 million expected. So interesting here. Durable goods are up. It's at Beginner Trades, Mirius. At Beginner Trades is where we post all this stuff. Yeah, give me a follow. Look at the market react positively to this. Sometimes the first move is the wrong move, though. The next resistance level I'm looking at 18.85s. Yeah, sometimes the first move is the wrong move. And again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. Top Step gives you a 50K demo. They test your skill with a demo account. If you pass the test, they fund you between 50K up to 150K with a 90% split. And listen, most day traders lose. And so these funded account programs are incredibly useful because most day traders lose. This is objectively true. If you put up your own thousands and thousands of dollars, you're probably going to lose a large chunk of that. Let's just be honest here for a second. Instead of losing all that money in the market, the base Top Step account is $50. They give you a 50K demo. If you can make 3K without losing 2K following their rules, and you want to confirm this all with them, they fund you 50K, 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K prior to that 90% split kicking in. So it's very similar to funding your own account in terms of split. If you fail, it's noticeably less than most day traders end up losing in their first few years, which is $50, right? Versus thousands. It just makes sense. It's the best of both worlds. Limited risk, similar reward to funding your own account, and they paid out hundreds of millions. A great way to learn how to trade, and most day traders lose. And you guys know me, I am biased. Some would say I'm the top 3 most biased trader ever. Not an investment professional. I don't even claim to be a good trader. I just try to give people free data, free reports. I'm certainly biased in their favor, but I genuinely think funded account programs are very, very useful. And again, if you want to check them out, I'll put the link up. Great way to help support the channel. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much, guys. Love you, buddy. Have a good day at school, dude. Love you. Have a good day at school. And yeah, if you want to check it out, link is in the chat. I'll also pin the link to the top of the page so you can see it. I stocked up on a few fridges. Why fridges? Explain that to me. Yeah, durable goods orders noticeably higher. Yeah, it could be front loading. I see a lot of people expect that, so. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell bye to my kids. I mean, what's the point of sitting here in front of a screen every day if I don't get to tell my kids goodbye to school, going to school? Washing machine's going to be a problem. Yeah. Hey, and honestly, guys, remember, we are going to be trading live at the opening bell. Oh, again, guys, we are going to be trading live at the opening bell. Stick around. I'm just glad to have some economic reports, even though like they did kind of move markets. They did kind of jolt things a little bit. Yeah. Let's get ready to trade the live opening bell. All right, guys, let me know what you guys are watching today. What stock are you guys watching the most this morning? What's your favorite stock today? I know a lot of people are probably watching Nvidia, Tesla. Right? I like trading the NASDAQ and the micro NASDAQ. You're the best, John. You have a beautiful family. Thank you, Ava. Appreciate it. Top. Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing for sure. Good kids. I got good kids, good family. Chipotle stock? Why Chipotle? All right, so the ECB's Lane says he does not expect trade fallout to cause a recession, according to Bloomberg. There is no reason to say that we are going to do the default 25 basis point moves, meaning cuts. All right, market's up a little bit here. Stronger economic data giving optimism to markets. Gold moving up a little bit. Bond prices are going up, which means yields are decreasing here. About to hit the high of the day. Let's see. Yeah, so bond yields opening up lower for once at 4.33%, 4.32%. You can kind of see yields go down as the bond prices. Whoa, what did I do here? Oh, I started clicking the wrong thing. Yeah, and again, you can kind of see bond yields decrease a little bit as the underlying bond prices increase up to 88. Gold increasing here. Intel. Nvidia. Yeah, I'm personally watching Tesla, Nvidia, Apple. Probably my top 3 stocks. Tesla, Nvidia, and Apple. I think those are the stocks that move the market in some of the most profound ways. And so, yeah. All right, look at the NASDAQ still making some moves here. About to break highs of the day. And we just broke highs of the day. Let's watch 18,850 here. I do have that as a level on my chart. I'll try shorting this spot. It's just a really cheap entry. See if we get like a liquidity grab. It's kind of risky, but I can short into this move. And we already have a $125 cushion on the day up here. Problem is if it surges big, we're kind of SOL here. So I'm going to cut this very soon. Yeah, I'm going to get out there. So we lost like a little $15. And it might actually respect our level here too, though. Maybe not. Nvidia just broke up there. Nvidia up to 103.50s here. So we didn't even stop at 850. I think I got to lower this down and use the previous high of the day up here and use that. It's around 840s. Yeah, we have Google earnings today. I forgot about that. So we do have Google earnings. We're going to stream that live as we always do here. So we're heading up. Do I want to buy this little dip here? I don't know. Hey, thank you for the $2. Palantir back over 100. Is it really? Palantir is back over 100. It's at 101.80. Tapped 102 just now. Oh yeah, you should be trading micros. Micros are the move. Micros are just limited risk, right? Like that's why, like, if you're day trading futures, you probably want to trade micros. In all honesty, you know, because micros, yeah, it's just gonna be an easier time most of the time trading micros. Sorry, let me Micro is it's 10 times smaller than a regular mini contract. Like if you buy one mini contract, you could be down thousands very, very, very quickly. That's less true in micros. Less true in micros. Again, look at NVIDIA rise still. I'm going to short this up here. I know I keep trying to catch a falling knife, but we got the cushion to do it today. And I just want to see if we like retrace back down. We can add some to it. There we go. We'll add some to it. We ended up taking half of that off, lock it in. We'll hold the rest around flat. Maybe add more to it if it retraces back up. Is kind of the plan now. There we go. Doesn't look like I need to though. Small little trade, but that's all right. All right, we're just gonna go to get out here. So we just, yeah, small little trade. We'll take it. All right, we're getting close enough to this previous high of the day right here where I don't want to get a bounce at that spot. So very small positions here, but there's got to be a way. Taskbar settings. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. So show desktop. All right, so we're still consolidating sideways here. All right. Alright, so we got this option. Okay, yeah, I like this a little bit more. So we can exit out of this. Alright, look at AMD surging here. Look at this pullback happening as well. Let's see if we bounce at the previous high of the day at 18,840s. This is a previous high right here. Good, so I'm trying to get the windows from like cluttering. American Airlines CEO says estimate impact of American Eagle Glide 5342 reduced Q1 revenue by about $200 million. Fed hammocks. All right, so the Fed's hammock is talking right now. He says uncertainty is really weighing on business in their planning, according to CNBC. Yeah, so again, durable goods orders for March. Core durable goods orders showed 10.4%, which is a crazy amount higher. So excluding defense, 10.4% versus 0.2%. Oh yeah, the numbers are already out. Let me fix this. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Yeah, durable goods month over month showed, what did they show? 9.2 versus 2%. There you go. It's at the bottom of the screen. Appreciate you letting me know. lately he doesn't like putting numbers on screen much. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to cover other stuff, to be honest. But like, I usually am okay with putting numbers up on screen. It's just a little bit, it depends on the number. It depends on the number. Remind me if I don't, I'll do it. But again, a lot of people are showing up right at 8:30 when the numbers are coming out. And so it's kind of, you know. All right, so we're under the previous high of the day here, but we also about to run into this 825 level right around here, which seems to be a level 2. I don't know for sure, though. Like, look, here's 825s. See, look at this 825 level hold. I thought it might be a level, and we might get a move up to the previous high up there if we're going to get one. I'm not confident enough to actually, like, buy it up, but I'm looking at it. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, we got sound. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously sound here. And again, stick around. We are going to be streaming live at the opening bell this morning. Yeah, like we are going to be sticking around trading the opening bell. Honestly, this 1 minute indicator is powerful, bro. I've been building a lot of different stuff here. Five minute might be even more accurate. It just doesn't show up as much as I want it to. But I guess if you're accurate, sometimes that's what it's going to look like. All right, so look at this bounce right there at 825. We're still coming back up. We're at 850s here, 850s. And again, I'm not even using this for my trading. I should be, to be honest, but I'm not. All right, so the Fed's hammock says lower stocks, bonds, and dollar trades should be monitored. What the heck does that mean, bro? Okay. You know, that's kind of like saying, hey, we should pay attention to our health. Obviously, we should, bro. What are you saying here? You know, like, oh, we should look at stocks sometimes? Cool, man. Great. Genius, you know. Get out of here, bro. Yeah, the durable goods numbers are honestly the most shocking number relative to all this stuff. I mean, the jobless claims numbers showed stronger economics than expected. So did durable goods, honestly. The core durable goods expected at 0.2 showed over 10, which is a crazy amount. The core, like, excluding, or, wait, let me see. I gotta make sure I get the right ones. Yeah, so... Yeah, so excluding defense numbers, durable goods showed up at 10.4 versus 0.2% expected, previous of 0.8%. So that's a much stronger economy than expected here. All right, so the Fed's hammock also said the Fed could move in June if the data is clear about the economy's state. Right, exactly, Moon. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, we should watch the market? Okay, cool. Like, great quote here. He did say the U.S. economy is resilient, though, so that's good, I guess. But still, man, like, come on, bro. The IMF's managing director, Georgieva, says the world economy was stabilizing before the new trade shock. The global worry is more about uncertainty than tariffs. I mean, I disagree. But what do I know? All right, Hammock also said it's possible that the president's view on the Fed chairman could affect the data. How? I mean, it could cause more fear and uncertainty, that's for sure. But he already came out and said he's not going to fire him, you know. So, I mean, American Airlines CEO continues to see strong demand for international travel from the United States. That's cool. All right, so here's the new high of the day. Here's the previous high of the day. We're bouncing directly off of that 840 level. Do I want to train jiu-jitsu today or do I not want to train jiu-jitsu? I trained jiu-jitsu last night. I don't know if I feel like doing it again. Ooh. Depends on how many people show up, too. I think today's no-gi day, so. I know, right? That's what I tell my wife. I'm like, yeah, baby, listen, I'm not going to train jiu-jitsu today. I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay home. And then an hour beforehand, I'm like, whoa. Honestly, what I like about jiu-jitsu is that I can eat whatever I want and still be in pretty good health. Because jiu-jitsu is so cardio intensive that, like, you can eat whatever you want. Don't listen to me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Top 3 least knowledgeable person about jiu-jitsu in the world right now, but still. It's so cardio intensive. That's the benefit of it. No-gi, you should go. I feel like the answer is always yes to that question. That's probably true. Google earnings are today. Oh, wait. Yeah, Google earnings are today, 2 o'clock. Let me make sure the earnings call isn't crazy like Tesla's is. They always put it in Pacific time. 1:30 p.m. I think this is 4:30 Eastern. Yeah, 4:30. Okay, cool. Good. I'll definitely cover Google. Because Google is expected this evening, 4 o'clock on the dot. We also got Intel. We got Google Class A, Google Class C, T-Mobile, Boyd, Skechers, Gilead, and more. So yeah, we're definitely going to cover Google today. At least we'll have something to do. Yeah, no, this is today. Honestly, I think working out in any way is incredibly healthy. And I think a lot of people that have struggle with like depression and stuff like that, they need to go work out. Like working out releases dopamine in your brain. Releases endorphins in your brain. Like working out is incredibly healthy. And so more people should do it, obviously. I appreciate you guys giving me some like love on X.com, because like we've been growing, man. It's been fun. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much. Yeah, Google reports this evening. Closing bell at 4 p.m. today is technically when they report it. Google is expecting, it's Alphabet technically, but they are expecting $202 a share on revenue of $75.53 billion. So, about $75 billion in rev, about $2 EPS per share. And again, just to put this into perspective, when you're looking at metrics for earnings, there's 3 major metrics that you want to pay attention to. Number 1 the most important is future guidance numbers. What we're looking like into the future. I think one of the themes that we're going to see, like Tesla did this as well, they don't report guidance because of the uncertainty going on in markets right now. So basically what they're saying is that it's hard to predict what the future is going to look like because of all the uncertainty surrounding finance right now and economics and stock market. I think that's going to be a common theme of this earnings season. But we'll see. We'll see. You know. All right, guys. Hey, we got 30 minutes left until the opening bell. 30 minutes. Yeah, well, Tesla's tough to predict, man. It's just so volatile. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I told people the biggest risk for Tesla is Elon being outspoken politically. I've said this probably, I would say, at least 50 times over the past 3-4 years. Biggest risk for Tesla, outspoken political comments. The problem is simple. And again, I'm not against you, whoever you are, on whichever side of the political, spectrum you fall on. I'm not against you. I'm really not. I'm very neutral. But looking at it objectively here, I think you gotta recognize people who buy EVs are generally not on the right. People who buy EVs are usually on the left. People on the right usually support big oil. They don't like EVs at all most of the time. People on the right usually buy oil. People on the left are usually the ones that are super friendly with EV technology. And I think this should have been something that is very obvious to most people. And so coming out super one-sided politically against the side that generally buys EVs, it's a risk. And I think that's what we're seeing in Tesla now, where Tesla has dropped massive percentages down from... Tesla is essentially down about 50% where it sits right now from highs. And it saw these highs at the beginning of this year. So in 4 months, Tesla's down 50%. That's a big drop. And now whether they come back is a different argument. I don't know. I think if you hold it long enough, it's going to come back. And I think most people are here's the thing, right? I think most people are somewhere in the middle. Nvidia just broke highs of the day again, got up to 103, almost 104s now. It kind of retraced really quickly afterwards. And so if I put up Nvidia here, it's up to 103.60s. Yeah. Again, we got 30 minutes until the market open. We'll see if we get anything good. Market's back up some, though. I mean, that's good. It's holding its gains. We'll see what the market does today. And then tomorrow we got University of Michigan consumer sentiment data. So PayPal and Coinbase expand partnership to drive innovation of stablecoin-based solutions. So I do see this. Where's Coinbase at these days? With Bitcoin riding back up, it should be rebounding up. It's almost at $200 a share. All right, NASDAQ trying to break highs again. Apple is reportedly struggling to ship manufacturing equipment to India from China. According to the information, it moved sub-assembly lines back to China from India due to quality and cost concerns for Apple. right, so we're getting some stagnation in markets here, a little sideways action. Sold Nvidia as of now, will be buying back at about $100 on open probably. Hey, good luck. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not even agreeing or disagreeing with anything politically. I'm just talking about honesty, which is that like markets are usually going to reflect. Like if you're selling things to consumers, you might not want to be one-sided because then those consumers are not going to buy your stuff. You know. All right, and again, the company is unable to use Chinese firms specifically regarding Apple for production in India due to geopolitical tensions. So, let's see, Apple. Is this Apple negatively reacting here? Well, not really. Could be worse. Yeah, but I mean, you got to understand, like, cars are still a big focus. And the reason they're a big focus is because that's their main business right now. Now, I'm not saying they don't have other businesses building up for Tesla, but their main business is cars. Don't get it twisted. Like, again, they don't earn enough from their AI or X to compensate for their car sales. They just don't. I mean, this is very obvious, I think, right? Now, they might in the future, and I think the data that they've built up on their cars is valuable. But in terms of income, you know, FSD's not really earning it like that. They're not licensing it out yet. None of the other businesses are going to be earning nearly what Tesla earns from auto sales. And so I think it's important to specify that and make sure people understand that. Right, for sure. And again, like I said, I said this over and over. I probably said that 50 times. The biggest risk was outspoken politics. And I like Tesla cars too, but the risk is very self-evident. All right, sideways action in markets here. We got 25 minutes into the market open. We'll see if we get anything good. I'm hoping we do. I think we got existing home sales at 10 a.m. too. We got Lane speaking. So Lane is starting to speak right now. I'm trying to see if we can figure out. I don't think they're saying much yet. Another thing that drops today at 1 o'clock is the Atlanta Fed GDP now for Q1. Last time they showed up at minus 2.2%. So that's an interesting look today too, considering the GDP now is supposed to be dropping here. We got Michigan consumer sentiment tomorrow, and then the slow week is officially over, and we got a bunch of stuff coming out next week that we'll cover. It's weird, like every quarter we get 1 or 2 slow weeks. All right, look at 825s right here. Very sideways chop. See if it's the bottom of the range. Is PayPal going up? If SpaceX goes public, I'm I don't really like space stocks at all, bro. Like, and I've been saying this for years too. Like, people used to love SPCE company, which is like the Virgin Mobile guys space company. And I always told people, like, my issue with this is margins. You know how expensive space is to build stuff and go to? Like, those are not margins I want anything to do with. You know, and I said this about SPCE. SPCE was once like crazy high. They've done a bunch of splits since then, and they've just downtrended for 5 years now. And I would tell people this, and they would get mad at me. And I would explain to them, like, look, the space industry is incredibly expensive, terrible margins. Are we really going to bet on a company that is going to space for commercial travel? I'm personally not. I think that's a dumb bet. Maybe once they're more successful, sure. But I'm personally not. And the same fears, you know, when we pivot to SpaceX, same issue with me. I don't know if I would invest in SpaceX either. No offense. And I get it. We got a lot of fanboys here, and I understand. I'm not against you guys. I'm looking at margins, and those are not the safest margin plays for me if I'm going to buy a company. So much variance in how they do. I don't want to mess with that. I think there's a reason they're not public. I'll put it that way. I think there's a reason SpaceX ain't public. And so you got to make smart bets. And I don't know if that's necessarily, even if it ends up doing well, I don't know if that's a safe bet to make, personally. It's slow for economic reports. We got earnings and stuff, but it's slow for economic reports for sure. Like, my channel mostly is made from economic reports. We're pretty unique in terms of, like, other people try to copy us sometimes, but, like, people know they could tune in here at 8:30 and we're going to cover whatever's going on. And I think that's a unique thing. And so that's what the channel basically thrives on, is economic reports and then trading the volatility that we get from it. In the last 2 weeks, they've consolidated everything to next week. So next week we have JOLTS, we've got Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, and more earnings. We've got non-farm employment, we've got US GDP, we got Europe GDP, we got non-farm payrolls, we got unemployment, we got jobless claims numbers, and more. And so we just have a lot. They've consolidated everything to next week. And then the next week after that, we get CPI inflation. So it's just a busier few weeks after this week that I'm looking forward to. This week has been interesting with tariffs, but honestly, it's not like it was last week or the week before where we got this huge volatility from tariffs. This week it's slowed down a little bit. Like, we're not crashing down as much. And I think people tend to tune in more when there's a fire, you know. Yeah, I'm not sure, wow, what you mean by that. And again, I'm not against you guys. Alright, so look at this bounce right here, this 825 level. So that level held too here. Not bad. All right, guys, we got 15 minutes. We'll see what the opening bell brings. Chile's Codeco says local economic regulator approves SQM. AMD still slightly green. Amazon, where's Amazon at? All right, so we're so sideways right now. I don't know what I want to do with this. It looks like this level that we have on our charts right here is held very nicely. And the top of our resistance level seemed to be holding to this 840, which was a previous high of the day. We're just kind of struggling to get over it. I see a little bit lower highs here. Here's a high. This one's a little bit lower here. And then we're obviously getting this here. Lower highs. Even lows. So we got a descending short-term trend. Doesn't mean it's going to hold that way, but that's what I see right now. We got 15 minutes until the opening bell, too. Yeah, it definitely could be a bull flag for sure. I'm not really a big fan of bull flags, though. I don't know why. That's the micro NASDAQ. Just the futures contract. Yeah, so every quarter the futures contract expires and we get another futures contract. So every quarter we get an expiration. So ECB's lane says quantitative easing is only to be used at the lower bound. All right, guys, so I'm kind of building something here. The contracts change every 3 months. So, yeah, so you have to do what's called a rollover in futures every 3 months. Now, this is designed to, all right, so look, we still held at that 18,825 level that we have on our charts. We got 13 minutes into the opening bell. We're up about $130 today leading into the opening bell, so that's good. But yeah, every quarter you have to what's called roll over your futures contract, which means you have to go to the most voluminous and the most liquid contract that everybody else is using. It's called the rollover period in futures. Even if you hear something like the quad witching is a historical day of volatility in which all the major contract types expire, which means they roll over to the next one. An example of this would be equity futures contracts like the NASDAQ futures contract, the S&P futures contract. Every quarter you have to switch contracts to the most volatile one. Or to the most liquid one, I should say. what's up, Rod? What's up, BT? Yeah, no worries, Jack. May 16th, that's the next witching. Is it really? So the quad witching day, it's technically triple witching because there's no such, there used to be stock futures, right? So there used to be single stock futures that would expire. So I could trade like Apple futures and get around the PDT rule in that regard. Now there's no such thing, and there's only equity futures, commodity futures, you know, some currency futures sometimes. All right, so the IMF cuts the Asia's economic growth to around 3.9% in 2025 and 4% in 2026. So that's going on right now. Sorry, I'm doing some code breaking here. Here's. Hey, thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it, brother. This is the place to be when you're a beginner. He knows his stuff. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it, bro. I try to help people. That's why I like. People are like, "Hey, John, you're not a beginner. Why is your channel called Beginner Trading?" I try to tell them, like, it's not about what I am. I'm trying to help traders learn. You know. Like, I've thought about changing the name of my channel before, but, you know, no point. I think it's good where it's at. The niche we have is good. Okay. Are there bots or AI that will scan these reports? There probably are, but that's a different thing. The only people that have that, are like probably big investment firms and like banks and stuff like that. Their stuff. All right, so look at the NASDAQ starting to rip up some here. May 16th, next major expiry. Irregardless trading. Trips are also witching. Yeah, well now it's so you got to think about it like this. The reason it's triple witching is because you have 3 major contract types expiring all the same day. Day of historical volatility. You have index options, so like the S&P 500 options, the NASDAQ options. You have stock options, so like Apple options, Amazon options, Tesla options, and then you have index futures like the NASDAQ that you see on the chart right here, right? Like those 3 major contract types expire on triple witching or quad witching days. The next one is May 16th, they're saying, and that's why it's a day of historical volatility. Yeah, sorry, I'm problem solving here with some code. Usually they're pretty good, but all right. So the BCD director Vivian says they are going to review the minimum capital required for financial institution is adequate for new entrants. American airline exec says not seeing any pullback in business travel across the board. So that's something I'm seeing with airlines today, is that they are saying that they're not seeing any slumps in travel. And look at the NASDAQ start to rip up here. We got 7 minutes left, 7 minutes left. I'm using a bunch of different websites, to be honest. Like, I've showed people my monitor. I'll have to try to find them. I can't stand this song. I'm sorry. I've showed people my monitor before. Like, this is my trading monitor. Let me find it. I gotta scroll up a lot. I think I posted it at the bottom here, too. Let me check the main chat room. Yeah, I know I posted it to the Discord. All right, guys. NASDAQ with a big pullback ahead of the opening bell. We got less than 5 minutes now, chat. Less than 5. I'm trying to see. I thought I posted a monitor setup where it was my monitor. I don't feel like taking another picture. I guess I can send it here. I'll just send it to Pawn or somebody. All right, so look at this 840 level. This was a previous high of the day. We're basically right there now. See, I had a picture of my monitor somewhere. I don't know what. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so this is my monitor setup, guys. I'll show you this real quick right now. I've showed people this before, but this is my monitor setup. It's pretty cool. So here's my monitor. So that's what I have to look at. So people always ask me, like, hey, what kind of source do you use for news? I use a bunch of different sources, to be honest. What's up, Tiny? Yeah. So that's my monitor. It's a 49-inch ultra wide monitor. So this monitor down here, huge. If you want to see the picture, you can just go to. I'll put it in the Discord. But yeah, that's the monitor I'm using. All right, look at Amazon dip down pretty quick. AMD still pushing up though. So is Apple. Look at Apple. Apple up to 205. It looks like there's some news might be out for Apple. We got 2 minutes here until the market opens. About 2 minutes now. I'm trying to see if there's any Apple news. All right, Walmart China responding to China's call to integrate the development of domestic and foreign trade. Apple is planning to increase iPhone production in India by around 10%. So I saw that one about 20 minutes ago. So that one's kind of old news. I'm trying to see if there's any other reason. I see Apple ripping up. I also see Amazon falling down. AMD is pushing up some. All right, guys, we got the opening bell in less than a minute here. Less than a minute. Tesla is trying, but Tesla's down a little bit too, so weird. We do have Google earnings today. That's a big report. Google's pushing up some, so maybe that's what it is. Nvidia's fighting back. Look at this. Okay, so we just broke highs of the day right before the opening bell, chat. Right before the open. All right, guys. 20 seconds. 20 seconds until the opening bell. All right, guys. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, guys, there is the opening bell here. Let's see what the market gives us. We hit 875s. Look at that. Tapped it. So we just tapped that level here. All right, so we again, we are trying to push up. All right, so we rejected right there at 875. Look at that level hold. Still watching Nvidia and Apple very closely here. We also have Google earnings today. All right, Netflix, guys, flying up right now. Look at Netflix here. Netflix at 1070s, almost 1100. We're hitting 18.9s up here, Jet. So the NASDAQ is pumping up right now. Netflix is helping it for sure. Netflix up to almost 1070s. Hit 1069s. Tesla's rebounding back up some as well. Nvidia trying to get up there. All right, guys, still trying. Netflix just broke 1070s. Nvidia's still trying though, still consolidating more so. Amazon's starting to rip back up to that 181s. Later, Sam. CME Group is going to expand its crypto derivatives offering the launch of XRP futures. That's cool. So that means we might get XRP futures. All right, look at Nvidia start to turn all the way back down here. So we're getting a rebound back up. We did reject at this 875 level again. If we get down to 840s, we'll buy this. But we need a dip down there. And we're only 3 minutes into the day. All right, so we never quite got down to 840, so we didn't really get that move here. All right, so we're creeping up towards highs. Watch 18.9s. I think 18.9s is actually a big spot, a big level. So we got to watch 18.9s because that's like a whole dollar spot. All right, look at Netflix still push up. So Netflix still one of the reasons the market's rising up here. We got Amazon starting to test highs at the day, or getting close to it at least. Tesla just broke highs of the day as well. Starting to see some green universally and a lot of blue chip stocks. Google up there as well. Any data today? We have, let me see. I don't think we have like any big data. We got existing home sales in about 25 minutes or so. We got Lane speaking right now, but that's about it. We got the Atlanta Fed GDP coming out later on today at like 1. All right, so we almost got down to 840s. I didn't quite buy it. All right, so we're right back up to test the top of the range. Look at Nvidia up to 103.80s. I haven't really traded this. This is very choppy. I need something to go off of. Yeah, we did hold that 18,850 level. Just broke highs of the day, hit 18.9s. All right, look at Nvidia. Nvidia up to almost 104s right now. Yeah, we got existing home sales. Not the biggest release, but we'll cover it. I mean, people inside the White House are alerting Wall Street execs they are nearing an agreement in principle on trade deal with India, according to FB and citing sources. So that's good news if they can get it done. I tapped 18.9. Look at that level at the top. Hit it. All right, so hey, look at that rejection. We literally rejected right here. Sorry, I'm having to take some pictures of some stuff. We literally rejected right there at 18.9s. But Netflix is still pumping up. Look at this. Netflix is almost up to 10.75s. Do I want to buy this? I kind of want to buy it. Let's see if we get 875. I'll buy it. You know, we'll take a piece. Oh, dude, we lagged. That's not where I wanted. It's okay. We'll add to it, I guess, up here. Take half off, protect the trade. Maybe add on a dip back down. Got up to that 18.9 level. This is taking too long. We're gonna go to cut it. We just made a little bit, not a ton. All right, so now we're over 18.9s. SPY's starting to get high, get close to highs. All right, so we're up to almost 18.925s here. We got over 18.9s finally. Netflix is what's dragging us up. Again, Netflix is up there. Nvidia's helping too for sure. Apple on the other end is down slightly on the day. Google's starting to head up too though, so. See, my charts are kind of freezing here. Might have two windows. So we got some more strength showing up. I don't know how long it's gonna last. Part of me wants to short this up here. I'm gonna take 2 contracts short. We're gonna leave it alone. See if we retrace back down. We got to cut that. So we just lost a little bit. They're still up 100 and something on the day. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking to might be pivoting to kind of a short base system here. At this top level right here, see if we get a correction back down. I know it's kind of attacking a falling knife, but I mean, all right, so we just made a chunk of that back, hitting off of that 942 level. Bitcoin looking weak right now. Yeah, so again, we're getting close to that 19,000 level, which is right here. Look at this surge, guys. Wow. We're over a lot of the levels I have, but It wants 19, I think, still. Looks like things might start slowing. Yeah, I don't think we have any non-45 data. Tomorrow at 10, we got Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report, so that's good. See, this looks strong, yeah. But it's too up there for me to attack it, I think. Alcoa CEO still thinks tariffs put about 100K U.S. jobs at risk. Apple's still surging up, though. Netflix finally starting to push back, but Nvidia up to almost 105s. Where's Tesla at? Tesla's still pretty green on the day, too. Very strong today, guys. Very strong. All right, so look at this big pop. Watch 19,000 here. We are almost to 19K. Not quite there yet. I want to buy a little dip here. That's a big enough retracement for me to attack. See if we make that push towards 19 is what I want. We might have to like take a risk here. We can hold the rest break even too. Took half off. We're so close to 19K. I'm going to add to this, but it's a risky add. All right, we're going to take a piece off again just because we can. I just think the market wants 19. But I'm going to go to cut this here too. So another green trade. See if we can find a pullback. Very close to 19,000. It could just rip right over here now. I mean, Netflix is right there at the volume weighted average price too. Amazon up there. Apple is starting to dip though. All right, so China foreign minister in a meeting with Swiss counterpart says that China and Swiss should jointly respond to anti-globalization challenges. All right, I'm going to take a 2 contract position here. Take half off that. Hold the rest, maybe add to it. Another half off there. Get out the rest there. So yeah, we're up about $200 on this account of the day. So yeah, on this account we're up about 200 bucks. Alright, we're getting right close to it. I would have to assume we're going to break this level again too. I'll buy this little dip, but it's a little bit risky for me to buy this. But I think we're so close to 19,000 and it's kind of this big whole dollar level that I do want to try to catch it here, but it's risky for sure. We got a cushion on the day to justify it though, I think. So if we're going to take a risk, might as well make it today, but... Creep it up. Took half off, just protect this. Maybe we'll add back. It's so close to 19,000. I think it wants it, but there we go. 2 contracts. Take another piece off. Not quite there yet. So many buys are stepping in right now is the problem. We took a piece off. Nine minutes until existing home sales. I don't think existing home sales are really going to move things. The problem is that the longer we stay up here, the less optimistic I am about the direction. We're still holding this level though. Huh. There we go. All right. We're out. We're up about 207 in this account right now. 207. We're calling the range very well in this thing. All right, so there's 19,000. We literally tapped it. Tapped it. Oh, is the music loud? My bad, guys. Here, I'll turn it down a little bit. Look at this pop over 19,000 here, so the market did surge over it. Yeah, I've watched both of those shows. I watched Ballers and Billions. I couldn't finish Billions, so I watched Billions years ago. Got to like the second or third season, couldn't finish it, just got slow, repetitive. All right, look at the NASDAQ now testing 19,000. I almost want to short this thing, dude. Yeah, I mean, we got existing home sales in 6 minutes. But that's about it. Merck executive says company has on hand inventory in the U.S. to manage tariff impact through 2025. And again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. Top Step gives you a 50K demo. They test your skill with it. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for it. No PDT in futures, so it gets you around the PDT rule. And this is why most pro day traders trade futures. You don't have to fund and risk tens of thousands of dollars in one account like day traders and stocks have to do it. You can day trade that, basically the SPY and Q price action and the NASDAQ and the S&P. No PDT rule. Top Step gives you a 50K demo. If you fail, they give you a practice account you can learn and trade on. If you pass it, you get a 50K funded account, 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K, which is very similar to funding your own account. The risk is $50 a month for the base one. And so it's limited risk, similar reward. It's the best of both worlds. I always describe it. But I'm biased because I get paid by them. Some would say I'm the top 3 most biased ever in the world. But they've paid out hundreds of millions, and it's a great way to learn in a structured environment. And so if you want to check them out, I'll put the link up one more time. Great way to help support the channel. Here's the link right here. And I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. There's the link right there. Always understand all this stuff on screen, though, guys. Not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. Understand CFTC 4.41. I can't guarantee anything. You want to confirm it all with them first. Not an investment professional, guys. All right, we're back under 19K. Big spike up, though. Look at this big pop. I'm tempted to short it here, but I've already built up such a nice cushion. Yeah. All right, existing home sales in about 2.5, 3.5 minutes. Look at this pump. Still ripping up, guys. Remember, we got Google earnings later. We will be streaming Google earnings later on today, so just be ready for that. All right, look at this surge. And I'm about to withdraw on Top Step too. My 2 accounts are both green. I can kind of show you guys some of my stats here. Like, here's my graph in my first one. What's great is we built up this cushion. What's great is we built up this cushion with very small size too. All right, look at this surge up here, guys. Wow. I gotta try shorting in here, right? I'll take 2. Kind of catching a falling knife here, but I think the edge is higher. There we go. Take half off of that. Oh, bad fill. Bad fill. Well, we got some edge now until we can hold it. Existing home sales in 1.5 minutes. Yeah, we gotta cut it. Just ripped up past it. We're still very green on the day. We're hundreds of dollars green on this one, so we're okay. Yeah, we got Google and Intel later. Huge green momentum showing up over 19,000. Everything else is basically coming back alive. Heading into Google today. Apple over 205s. Nvidia at 105s. Amazon. All right, guys, let's see what existing home sales show up as. And then we're probably just going to cut out, but... All right, here we go. Existing home sales showed up at lower than expected, minus 5.9% versus minus 3% expected at 4 million versus 4.14 million expected. Lower than expected existing home sales. So a little bit weaker real estate data here. And again, guys, remember later on today we got Google earnings. Be ready. Google's flying up today at 160s, so it's part of the reason the market's dragging up. I'm just gonna sit on my green day and take the win. And so yeah, I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Hey, I love you all. Y'all have a great day. Again, be smart, be safe in this market, guys. Market can be volatile right now. Market's flying up today. Very interesting day. Look at this green. Almost not stopping here. Very strong surge. So we'll see. Good luck, guys. Hey, I love you all. You'll have a great day. We'll be back later on today for Google earnings. Have a good one, guys.